Got your popcorn? This is the space. You gonna see what we talking about. Have a seat. Rub your hands.
Put up those TVs.
Put up those TVs. That's gonna catch. Put up those TVs. All right. So real talk. So today's topic of discussion is of about the whole. I think last week it was Cam Newton showed up at a training camp. It wasn't his training camp. He just showed up, showing love to the community, and he was, I believe, was disrespected by a high schooler. Do you guys agree with that, or you guys don't agree with that? So mainly this topic's gonna be about respecting, disrespecting your elders, like not like elders, but like for athletes, the people who
that already made it.
Yeah,
I would say, I wouldn't say it was disrespect. I would say he was testing him. And the reason why I would say he was testing him is because, like, again,
he called him broke.
The high schooler was testing Cam?
Yeah, he was, like, trying to test him, like, like...
He called him broke.
But wait for it. That's where the disrespect came in. Because at first, it was, you about to be a free agent. And, again, regardless if you're about to be a free agent, that doesn't mean you can't be picked up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, when I feel like he was trying to test him, but then once, Cam bit on that test, he didn't know where to go. He kind of folded. And, I mean, you see that later on in the video when he was like, what we having a conversation? You made it go here, so let's go here.
Yep.
So I think, he was trying to test him in a way of like, we all criticize professional athletes on a daily. LeBron, why you missed that shot? I would have made it. No, you wouldn't have.
Cam, why didn't you do it for the fumble?
Cam, you don't care about your head. Like if you were a normal person, you would have made the same decision. Oh no, man, I like the game too much. But you weren't in that situation at the Super Bowl with a 300+ man in front of you diving at the ball.
I wouldn't have dove at that ball.
So it's like there's ways when you say, like, I want to test this athlete, I want to talk about this athlete in a light of it's only my opinion. It's not a fact. It's only my opinion. The facts are what happened, but it's my opinion. And I think the kid was trying to test him, and he went a little too far, and then he shouldn't have retreated. Like, once you win there, you might as well just be in there. Either take your L like a man. But, like, he folded, oh, yo, you gonna see what I'm gonna do. You gonna see. But he goes, but what did you do? Like,
they just never answered.
Oh, check YouTube. Wait, so you telling me to Google you, man? Like, so that's what I'm saying, where it's like he's hiding his talent. Because he's like, oh, well, today, like, yeah, we went, because, again, think about when we play football. We won some games, we lost some games. But if you ask, what did you do? I can be like, oh, well, I scored 3 times. Or, oh, I made this one guy look bad on this play. Or I got the crackback block so my receiver can get up the seam. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, but what did you do? All you will see is not a real answer. So that's where I think, like, he folded from the test.
It just makes it seem like he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So you're saying you can be a little disrespectful as long as you don't fold?
Yeah. Because again, if you could, like, if you the stud, look, if you the stud, you can be as disrespectful as you want to a point. Like, I'm not saying you just like all hell almighty, but if you can answer the guy's question, then that's what I'm saying. There was no disrespect there.
So if you think he said, like, I threw for 300, I had 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing, that would have been fine?
Yeah, then what was his response? You see what I'm saying? Like, because the reason why they got into the argument is because Cam, because, again, it was Cam's team there, though. Like, Cam wasn't, like, there, but it was his team, so he was there to support his team. His team was winning, so that's why he was just like, players, don't talk to him. Like, he lost today. Like, that's where the conversation really originated from. And instead of him saying, he was a little butthurt by that. So, again, Cam disrespected him first, quote unquote.
I wouldn't call it disrespect when you're Cam, though, when you have, like, the status of Cam.
Yeah.
He made it. He won the national title in college. MVP. Made it to the Super Bowl. Just making it to the NFL in general. It's an accomplishment.
And a starting quarterback?
Yeah. So
MVP. We can keep the list going. Again, Cam's my dude. But when we come to, like, how you talk on the field, there's some people who are the silent but deadly type. And, there's the talker that talk all this crap. Every team got one. Loud as motor mouth. And he dog shit. Like, he trash. Or not even that he trash. He just do more talking than he do playing. And I think this was that type of player. No, like he actually starts because he made that position, but then he doesn't actually contribute.
Yeah, they didn't have pads on, so they was definitely playing 7-on-7. So they all played that game.
So he's not really contributing to the game. And then to say, our record was 1-2, It's like, okay, well, that one.
Two
okay.
and 2. 2 and 2.
Oh, 2 and 2. My bad. But again, but then when he asked you, what'd you do? What did you do in those 2 games you won? You see what I'm saying? Like, you could have like looked at the positive. Okay, in these 2 games, I did this and this. I got an interception to win the game. You see, or anything, or I scored the winning touchdown, or I lost this one game. Those are things you could have said you did. But he was like, you gonna see? Check my YouTube. Like, that's like telling me. Because again, the history. Once the game ends, clock over. Nobody cares what you did in that game. What can you do next game for me? Because when it comes to really sports, and it's a cutthroat sport, especially 7-on-7, I mean, you see the videos. People get mixed up, and I'm like, oh God, like that was nasty. If you let that one play define your career, it's over. You got to be next play, and I think that kid was just too stuck on, oh, look what I used to do. So
you think he was doing it for attention? You think he just wanted all the attention on him to get his name out there?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. And again, I think he could have been the kid that got his name out there. Because again, Cam said all this attention came because you start talking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he start telling his accolades mid this thing, now people are like, oh, okay, this is the one kid that stood up to Cam. That would have been a narrative. He stood up to Cam
and had the accolades to back him up.
Yeah.
I was first all conference and tackles, touchdowns, whatever you.
And now you're like, position. Okay, maybe he on the wrong team. Maybe I want to recruit him. And you see, and that's your way in. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you could talk game. You could talk, oh, yeah, I think your team trash.
But you got to back yourself up.
But you have to have something to back it up. You can't just blow air. Like, it's hot air at that point. You just.
You're going to see. Check my YouTube.
Like, so. But again, if we stem off of this conversation of the type of talks that, you know, athletes have on the field, what do you think is appropriate as far as trash talk?
Trash talk? I will agree. If you're going to trash talk, back it up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, one, I wouldn't trash talk. Like, I would say freshman year, I did a lot of trash talking, you know, just to get my foot in the door. But those upperclassmen, they gonna hit the shit out of me. They hit the shit out of me on the field. I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to still talk that shit. So that's the level of trash talking. But if I'm in high school and I'm talking to an NFL player and I'm calling you trash, then it's like I'm not even in the league, and you're in the league. So that's when I say, like, the trash talk. Like, you wouldn't go up to Cam and tell him he's trash, would you?
I couldn't. I couldn't. And see, and this is where, again, when we stem back to, like, what type is appropriate. Because think about it. Lil Bow Wow, he's, you know, a superstar. When he challenged Kobe to the basketball game. Oh, yeah, Kobe, I could beat you in a basketball game. Bow Wow, you 5'2". Kobe is still the man. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy. But you wanted to play him. And again, yeah, you're going to try your hardest. But you're going to get a humble pie. Like, it's a heavy piece of humble pie. And I think some people deserve that. I feel like that's where it should have went. I hated the video ended where the other coach stepped in. Oh, no. They literally can't. All right, you the guy? You the dude who say you what position you play? All right, bet. And I'm going to get my best DB, running back, linebacker, whatever your position, I'm going to get your opposite, and we're going to see what you're talking about. And that could have been his shining moment.
That could have made that. He could have put his name in the like in the Twitterverse in the right.
Like,
right
he would have
been looking at him.
Yeah. Okay. As a college recruit, would you look at this kid? D1. You're a D1 college recruit. Are you looking at this kid after this?
No, because he's not coachable.
No, because he's not. So you're saying, why is he not coachable?
Because, again, when you think about the programs, right? In any D1 program, there's a certain way you carry yourself. Whether you're angry, whether you're happy, whether you win, you carry yourself a certain way. When I'm talking about being coachable, if I tell you, what did you do wrong on that play? Or what can you do to better that play that you made a mistake on? And you tell me, you'll see, and you don't have a solution for me? You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't coach you as a kid if I ask you, what did you do?
Coach would be like, what are you going to do to be better? You'll see.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. He's not coachable. So it's the attitude of.
But what if he changes his attitude?
But that's the thing. We only got the snippet.
Yeah, you only got the snippet. Yeah, you.
We don't know who the kid is outside of this one snippet.
Like just imagine, like, you see a kid's mixtape, right? Will you see his mixtape? Oh, he got game. He can play, and then you see this.
It's like
you signing that kid when you can get a bunch of other kids who don't have that. Like, you know, they have the same mixtape as him, but they don't come with this baggage.
Yeah, going for the other ones that don't have baggage. The ones that don't run their mouths, that don't
And the only time,
That's
again, the only time you take that baggage, if that's the one in a generation kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, we know stories of kids who were that kid, could have been great, but then failed out. Or, let, behind the scenes activities get them in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't sign him personally because of that snippet. Like, regardless of him, how great he could be or is or was, or, because I don't know how he has a career anymore. I don't know. But
it's spring camp. Actually, no. Some states are actually playing spring ball. So
yeah, so I wouldn't sign him solely based off this one video because he can't take the heat, and that's ultimate heat when you standing across from
a pro athlete
giving it to you. And again, he said, I'm not trying to make jokes. He shut down all the chatter around him so it could be on one-on-one. That's heat. That's pressure. If you can't take that, how can I rely on you?
How can you take pressure in like a real national championship?
You see what I'm saying? Like
when he stopped the chatter too, and he was like he wanted that one-on-one conversation. It's not like he was trying to like dog him or anything. He was actually trying to give him knowledge, like try to help him out. And
like that's why Cam was there.
Yeah, like he was like, okay, you think this, but like put it this way. But he never got that chance to get there because he never gave the answer Cam was questioning him for.
Yeah. So again, lesson learned. Any kids out there who like 7-on-7, it's not real football, but it does give you some skills on how to play in space. That's all 7-on-7 is about, playing in space, because it doesn't simulate the game. But when you are there, learn from this kid. If you gonna talk something to somebody that has stature, whether it's college, whether varsity, like if somebody that has stature, if you can back up what you're saying, if you can. All right, you want to see what I can do? Get one of your best guys. That's your moment. Take the moment, seize it. Now you've earned your respect. Even it's that quick.
Even if you lose that matchup, you like, give me your best guy. You proved yourself, and like a lot of people are gonna look at you, and it's just gonna be like, okay, he's willing to
go against anybody.
Yeah,
because again, you had no film, you had no scouting. I want your best guy. And you're like, oh, well, I'm my best guy. And you're a professional athlete. You see what I'm saying? Like, and even if I slow you down on a route, or I almost get, I was this close.
Or if it deflected, then
you see what I'm saying? And then that's a story you can tell your kids. Oh, yeah, so I challenged Cam at this camp, bro. And guess what happened? And I mean, again.
He lost me, but I didn't back down.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's grit. That's effort. That's, know-how. You see what I'm saying? Like, so... Yeah, the kid, he kind of disappointed me a lot.
But one of my favorite Cam videos is, that one with Clay Matthews? He goes, oh, it's a wheel route. It's a real route. Wheel route. And Cam goes, oh, I've been watching film. Now watch this. Then it snap, boom, touchdown.
Yeah.
That's how you back it up.
Like, it's the same play. Like, and again, I mean, 7-on-7 is a little difficult because, again, it's playing in space. You don't have the full, like, you can't really get in anybody. But it's like, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Like Lucky said, you're going to live to fight another day regardless. And you showing people, I step up. I don't know who it is, but I step up.
And even if you did get messed up, you'll learn from it.
I mean, unless they ended your career.
Yeah, unless you're tearing everything, then it's no coming back from that one.
But yeah, so, but I mean, okay, we'll pivot it one more time. So how do you guys feel with coaches, because me and my mom were just talking about this, coaches being like mad, like disrespectful to their like players? Like, I'll just spell out the video for you. So the video, it was a kid. I don't really remember what he was doing, but the coach was like pissed off. Called the kid to the sideline and then whacked the kid on the helmet and then told him to get to the bench.
Oh, I need to know what the kid did.
Yeah, what did he do?
I think he messed up the play or something. Like,
okay, like what game was it?
It was just a normal season game.
Just a normal season game? Then, yeah, that coach got issues.
Yeah, so, like...
Now, if it was, like, do or die, then, yeah, I wouldn't say hit the kid, but, like, I would have been pissed, too. Like, yeah, you sit on the bench, but if it was just a normal game...
All right, but what if this was, like, the 10th time the kid did this?
Then why is
he doesn't
out
get
there?
10. He doesn't get 10.
Why you out there? Like, that's on the coach. If this is the 10th time doing it, then this is your fault for putting him out there.
Yeah, so, okay, so then...
But I don't feel like coaches should...
Well, what's the line with the coaches?
Hit.
Okay, physical's off the table.
Okay.
No physical should be put on a child because that's not your kid.
Yep.
But what's that line of how? Because again, coaches yell, coaches get emotional just like players get emotional.
Coaches can yell.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's that line that a coach shouldn't cross?
Hidden.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want. You can yell at the kid's face. I've been yelled at by my coach. You know, there was a middle school where I do floaters and I wouldn't use the backboard, and coach would be like, "Hey, use the backboard," and I'm like, "It went in, didn't it?" And he'll get in my face, but I'll still do it because it went in. But yeah, coaches can yell all they want. You just can't hit the kid
Okay.
or the player.
Yeah.
So, but
Because they can get emotional. They can get loud. They can get in your.
they have as much as invested as the players. So.
Okay.
Just don't hit the kid. My face will suit there.
All right.
What
So,
about you?
I mean, I think that line really is if the coach is yelling with genuine intent, like he's really trying to like correct an issue, I'm cool.
Oh, if he just says coming out my family, the kid's
Like
family,
if he's you a fucking pussy, like what are you doing? Like
Yeah, they
really
know.
breaking my
No.
spirit as a
No.
player, like I might, you know, and I think that like those are like those wild videos that you see like the player, you know, swing on the coach and you're like, yo, what just happened? Who trained him? Like, you know, and it's that type of mentality that kid has, you know, had some trauma with this coach before.
Yeah.
Or, you know, he just don't know how to be yelled at. Because I know some players that don't even know how to be yelled at and they'll completely shut down. It'll completely change the way they play. Like, you have that spark plug kid. The moment the coach is like, what the? And, I mean, and he timid, he, you know, real sketchy with, like, so I think that line is different with every kid. I think, you know, when it comes to yelling's cool. I don't think you need to call them out their name. I just don't think that is necessary.
The only name you should call them out is their jersey number.
Yeah.
Because that's all I remember being called on the field.
I mean, for like soccer, they call their names.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Two, what are you doing?"
There's only like 15 of y'all compared to like 40 of us.
Yeah. And I would say, again, telling the kid to ride pine is the easiest way
Yeah.
to fix every situation. Go ride some pine. For people who don't know what pine is bench. Go ride some. And
You know, Lindsay would tell you, I ran hills because, you know, he talks too much, but he didn't have to run hills.
it'd be like that sometimes. But see, I talked, but I wasn't disrespectful. Or I could back it up, is what I'll say.
So you two were, okay.
No. So we were in practice one time, and he's standing next to me, and we're like, the coaches were talking, and like I'm looking towards the coach. Lindsay's looking at me, and like he's talking to me, and the coach says my jersey number and like 5 other people's jersey numbers, and told us to hit the hill, and I'm like, I do, and he's like, yo, shouldn't be talking while we're talking. I'm like. And then I see Lindsay just like looking the other way. I'm like, so y'all can talk? No.
Listen, yes, there was a little favoritism, but I mean, really, I think my coaches, like specifically, knew at an early time that conditioning me wasn't going to do anything because I was already
Conditioned.
like probably the most conditioned on every team I've ever been on. So it's like making me run.
Wasn't doing
I can run for the rest of practice if you really want me to. Go faster, okay? Because they don't run you into the ground. If they run you to the ground, now you're gonna risk getting hurt.
Yeah.
There was another time when we all had to run, and they made us jog to the fence, and me and Lindsay started at the same spot,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to the fence before him, and they made me run extra hills because they said I walked there. So I was like, I beat him to the fence.
And then he still was just.
Again, coaches with the blind eye.
All right. So were you guys talking the talk and backing it up, or were you like the silent Deli?
He did the most talking. I think I only talked like to the guy in front of me. I wouldn't like be out loud for the whole team to hear me.
Oh, okay.
Cause like, especially when they moved me to freaking line, like when he asked me to play linebacker, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So like in corners, it's just me and that wide receiver. So I'm talking to him all game, you know,
Yep.
just talking. But the reason why I didn't do it as a linebacker is because the old linemen, they were bigger than me. I didn't want to get blindsided. You know, I'm paying attention to this dude, and the old line out of nowhere just hits me, and like he hit me because I was talking shit. So I always kept it down.
I did not keep it down because old linemen knew that their kneecaps were in danger. I mean, I think that appropriate smack talk is good because again, like my high school career, I ran the defense in sophomore year, you know, and because I know how to move pieces and not be in position to get in like a better position, you see what I'm saying? Like I don't have to be like
He's got me in trouble a few times in practice.
Yeah, I was always the roamer. So it's like, and then when I'm talking trash to the running back and to the 2 pulling guards. Nobody else matters. You know what I'm saying? Because like the quarterback is gonna hear me regardless because he has to stay in his cadence. But the 2 pulling guards, I just want to get them off their game because then they're either gonna try to come after me or not pull correctly or slow the play down or false start or whatnot. And the running back, because he's supposed to be a statue, like like those English dudes with the big hats that aren't supposed to do anything. That's what a running back's supposed to do because the moment he moves and it's not into a motion, false start.
Yep.
So I want to talk about him. I want to talk about how trash he is, how his socks don't match, like anything. Yeah, but I would say I never got too personal with anybody. I think it was just like maybe one receiver when I did go to corner in college. I mean, I tried to dog walk him. Like, I talked about his mom. I talked about his sister, his girl. Like, and I didn't care. And it was because, like, he was disrespectful. So
he came at you first?
Yeah, like the first play of the game, it's a block play, and he just, and I was like, yeah, you're going to have a long day. Like, I talked about everybody.
So when Lindsay starts talking shit, though, he tells us, because he runs the defense, so he tells everybody, hit hard or, like, play aggressive. He's gotten me in trouble a lot of times when he's like, hey, this next play, just smack him. And I do that, and guess who gets yelled at?
Listen,
that's your teammate. What are you doing? We're not out here to hurt each other.
He was talking, coach. He was talking. But again, I live by the philosophy, your mouth cashes you a check that you well deserve. And again, I mean, I received my fair share of checks, but if I felt like it was a check that was like a dirty or a blindside hit, believe you getting a check return real quick. So like, I would say that there was one kid, he was younger than us, and like, he was like the coach's like pet, and he blindsided me, and I got up furious, and I was like, you know what? I got in his face. He's like, Lindsay, what's going on here? And I was like, I called the play, and I went right, and he was a pulling guard, and I went right at him and tried to ruin him, and he's a teammate, and the coach was like, Lindsay, you done with practice? I go, all right, cool. Like, because again, what conditioning can you make me? You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Well, yeah. So, as you learned this episode, get ready to put down your TVs and your popcorn. You learned that you can be disrespectful, just back it up.
Cash that check. If you're gonna be disrespectful, make sure you can cash that check.
And if you be too disrespectful, you're gonna get checked.
You getting that check.
And
that was a goal.
Yeah. Cam Newton, you a monster.
I also like your hat collection. He made a Rosa Parks, Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman line. It's like I think $725, but it's a nuts hat. It's super dope. So Cam, I love you, dude. You're my guy. You still QB1 in my eyes, regardless of where you go. And this is The Space. I'm your boy Z, and we are out.